Good afternoon, everyone. And I, Mala Haldar from the Industry Connect Alliance and Placements team, welcome all of you to yet another exciting industry interaction with one of our esteemed recruiters, broadcast to world under virtual job fair in association with Aptech Limited. As a member of the ICAP team, our vision is just not to place the students but also help you understand the industry as in the media and entertainment industry, interact with the industry stalwarts, understand the requirement, the skill set, and how do you make the right portfolio, or what does the studio actually need in your portfolio as a fresher. And thus I believe these sessions, one we had yesterday also, these sessions would definitely help you not only get the job but also be better artists in the times to come. So today, going forward, we have Mr. Anish Biswas, the creative lead, and Miss Aarti Upadhyay from the HR team of Broadcast to World, who will be taking you through the journey of this wonderful studio. Okay, from two employees to such a big organization with reputed clients, the organization structure, the work culture, the requirement at present, the skill set, and so on. Okay, I would request all the participants, all the students to kindly share your questions in the question and answer tab so that I can take those with the speaker as we move forward. Right? So, welcome Anish and welcome Aarti.
Thank you, Mala. Thanks a lot for calling me again. I remember having a good session with the students
Yes,
time back, and
yes.
for me it was quite nourishing and fulfilling. So I'm always happy to be here.
The
And
pleasure is all ours, and thanks to both of you for accepting our invite instantly. And I remember coming to your organization in 2011, and the association has been great since then. We have placed so many students from the brand Aptech to your organization, and I think the relationship has been extremely nice. So, Anish, I would request you if you can share, if you can show something to our students where they would know about your organization, what kind of work you do, and what is expected out of these students.
okay, so it's kind of a small presentation. The visuals are mostly in terms of accompaniment, just to make the main content of the presentation a little bit more interesting. So I will
Okay.
share my screen right now.
Yes, and in
Let
the end, I would also request you to please mention the website of your organization.
Okay, yeah, sure. Okay, so is my screen visible?
It is. It is.
Okay. So it's a journey about broadcast to world, but I will start the journey with a slight, very teeny tiny introduction about myself and how I came to be in broadcast to world. But first of all, welcome everyone, all the students, all the people, faculty members who are present in this seminar, virtual seminar, and I'm honored to be part of this. Really. And we are also looking at, from broadcast to world perspective, we are always like looking out for talents. And this invitation actually gives us a very good opportunity to showcase ourselves, showcase our work. So thanks once again, everyone, for giving us the time. So I will start the journey with a teeny tiny introduction about myself. My name is Anish Ranjan Bishwas. I am the creative director and creative head of Broadcast to World for a few years now. I did my specialization in communication design and graphics. Post that, the initial phase of my career was it started with print and publication, and then I moved on to advertising. That's where I stayed for a long period of time, almost 10 years. So that's my journey through print, through advertising. I've grown a little older during that time. But then after a point, I decided advertising wasn't the thing I want to continue till the rest of my life. I was looking for new avenues, new ways of addressing the same communication and media industry through different formats. That's when I quit advertising and I started looking for more. And Sunny Arora, the founder, and the CEO of Broadcast World. He made contact with me. He had kept a tab on me for a while, so we met, we chat up, and he promised me all the kind of challenges, the creative fulfillment and nourishment that I was expecting out of a job. He promised me all of that, and thus I came to be associated with Broadcast World. It has been few years and Sunny has been keeping his promise to me. It has been a wonderful journey till now. But that was my
Anish, I guess we've lost you. Anish, you're not audible. Okay, students, again, a humble request. This is technology, and technology does glitch sometimes. So I would request you to please be patient. Y- Yes, please be patient.
I think I lose my
Yeah, we had lost you, but then now it's all fine. You just need to share your screen once again, Anish.
okay, just a second.
Perfect.
Yeah, is it back on? Okay.
Perfect.
So, like I was saying, around that point, I met with Sunny and I got associated with Broadcast World. Broadcast World started with two people. The foundation stone was laid down by two people. But then when we entered the market, we placed our foot out there on the market, we kind of placed it in a big way. What we did was we started Broadcast World in a factory module. Now, this is the journey that I'm about to talk to you guys about. We are no longer a factory module led organization right now. We have made a shift from factory to a studio, and it is that journey that I will be talking about. Hopefully this journey, it's not about bragging about Broadcast World. Of course I'll be doing that in some light manner, but most importantly, this will give the people a certain idea about what kind of market exists out there, and what kind of shift, what kind of role. There are certain roles a factory led module can play, there are certain roles a studio led module can play, and one will probably be able to see which one works for them or where they can find their footing. So we made that shift, and there were certain reasons for those shift. So I will briefly take you through that. That would be the main premise of my conversation here. So somewhere around in November 2009, broadcast started officially. uh, our main market was US based, but our production team and everything were based in India, in Delhi. Soon enough after Broadcast World started, like we mentioned, the journey from a factory to studio, we started as a factory, which meant a bulk of work, lots of work, and it's important to understand, like in a factory model, a lot of time you won't be able to build the right kind of connect with the client because you are too far away from each other. There is also a physical distance. There is also a distance where there's a third party who is kind of giving you that whole fodder, or all your projects. But nonetheless, we started as a factory module. Very soon, this factory, animation factory, creative factory, a factory which was bubbling with energy and something to do new in the world of explainer video, it took off. Took off big. Very soon, like it was the address of some 150 odd people of animators, artists, uh, creative and software technicians, and we were churning work at an amazing rate. In fact, we were churning more than 200 plus videos a year, and we soon got the whole recognition of being the largest maker of explainer videos in the world, mind you. And that's a big feat. The whole team was quite enthralled. We were like, that calls for a party. But then the founder, Mr. Sunny Arora, he had a slightly small smile in his face. He said, that's good. It's good when you want, in certain type of business, when you want to showcase yourself. But don't forget that the fight, when it comes to choosing between quality and quantity, right now they are kind of crediting us for the quantity that we have achieved. There's something, a bigger milestone to be achieved, which is quality. Now, of course, that's not saying that we are producing bad work, but in large numbers. No, nothing like that. It's just that, like I mentioned, in a factory module, there are some limitations. So from Sunny's point of view, it was a radical decision. Of course, from the creative perspective, the team was very excited. I mean, most of you will be identifying with this situation. Like most of us are creative in this field. We would want to have our thumb impression, our autograph, somewhere our DNA in every work that we do. It's a nice feeling to play the role of God at times, or to play the role of mother at times, giving birth to a creation. But in a factory module, we found ourselves that that wasn't always possible. This radical decision by Sunny was actually based on the observation that he made that you can only do so much in this particular module for the client. There is no direct face towards the client. There is no the client probably doesn't even know who are churning out these videos for them. Now you'll have to understand every video can face two different kind of predicament. One is the company will have a budget for them, and the budget dictates that we need to make 10 videos this year. We have been budgeted for that. Let's get on those 10 videos. Someone will make those 10 videos for them. Take, very good, let's move on. That's one place where the video might actually end up, there is a risk that the video will end up in obscurity, being viewed by very few people, very few uninterested people. People, maybe they are viewing it because their boss had forwarded that link to them, because it has been actually thrown into a seminar, into a meeting room. But it's not really a choice making. It's not really something which we have the control to give in more into the film, to give more creative input which it deserves, more effectivity, more stickiness, such things. So therefore the radical decision of converting or gradually doing this metamorphosis from a factory to a studio started somewhere from 2015. The process started. It was gradual, it was deliberately gradual. Once again, business prudence and everything. Like studio also meant for us that right now we are thinking about shrinking ourselves a little bit, from giving shelter to 150 odd creative people. Now we are about to shrink, and that could not have been done, that should not have been done overnight. Hence it was a gradual process. We took years, we took baby steps, but we took steady steps towards that goal. And the reason behind it, so like I said, we moved into a studio format after some time. But studio format always doesn't mean that you reduce the size of the team. There can be a studio which can actually shelters more than 150, 200 people under its roof. But that was the business prudence of the bigger management, and they decided that what we need to establish is have a face, have a name for ourselves. I mean, it shouldn't be like, I mean, if we are working as a factory, if you look at this slide that I'm sharing with you, there's us, there's the client on the other end of the table, and there's a third party sitting in between. We really don't have a direct interface with the client. The client probably doesn't even know that we exist. For him, it's the third party who exists. It's the third party who is supplying everything. And it's the third party who is dictating most of the thing to us. The benefit in a factory model is you get lots of work. You don't have to think about whether I have enough work for the next few months or not. There's always but at the same time, it also comes with certain disadvantages. Disadvantages like the script will be ready-made for you. The screenplay, the pre-production will already be ready. All you need to do, they're looking for animators. Basically, they're looking for a pair of hands right now to execute those things, give life, do the animation bit, and hand it over to them. In a lot of cases, the script would also come from the client itself. The client has taken a shot on the script. The obvious mistake that happens in those cases are the client being in love with his brand, his product, tries to tell you as much as he wants to, everything good. He bombards you with too many information. What happens in the process, the film doesn't stick inside our head when you watch it. It leaves our memory the moment the film stops. And hence, a lot of money also can get wasted. What Sunny, what the rest of the management of B2W team observed and figured out was that that gap needs to be reduced. We need to be the face of the client. We need to tell them that we understand their nature of business, we understand what they need, and we understand we are the expert in creating effective communication which will talk to your target audience. Hence, we call ourselves storytellers. We tell stories because story have this beautiful ability to stay inside your memory, stay inside your head. Stories have the ability to make certain aspect or certain part stand out from the rest of the stuff, from the clutter. And thus, that is what every audience, every consumer or customer needs. That is what every business house needs. They want more business out of their film. We went to the market after this transition, of course, we went to the market claiming that now we are the guy who understand your need. We can do the right research for you. We can give you the right words for your script. And we can give you the film, the overall package of a story, beautiful bouquet of a story, which will work for you. Obvious result is once we have done that uh, and we have proved it to the client, the gap reduced. The gap reduced, we have stories to sell. The clients started trusting us after we gave them the result, and now they're talking to us directly. They're not coming up with the solution, prepackaged solution for us to execute. They're making us their partner in the whole game. We are their team members right now. We're working.
Anish,
Yep, Mala.
Okay. Now, as we move forward in the presentation, now one of the primary requirement which I get from the HR team is concept artist, right? Storyboard artist, and I guess the requirement is still on. Now, here, since you are telling that you basically need storytellers, and I've seen in Sunny's LinkedIn profile also, he also calls himself a storyteller. Right. Now, I would want, as we move forward, if you can please tell us what you're expecting in a concept artist, and how can students probably, fine tune their creative skills and be better storytellers, because that's one of the primary requirements, your studio has.
So, so basically, what I'm trying to say is the metamorphosis happened. We made a journey from being the largest number of explainer video makers in the world to a studio setup, and today we are second largest video maker in the world. We have climbed down a bit, and are we sad about it? Not really, because one thing what I'm trying to this is the important point I'm trying to make here is storytellers can be any given person. You have a skill set. Now every person they work with two very prime faculties, I would say. In our field we will say there are a pair of hands, skill people, skill level, art level, they have mastered. And then there's also a pair of brain, and then there is a combination of both who works as head and the hands. And all of this, all the combination of the hands and the brain from different people in different combinations and stuff, they create the team that becomes the group of storyteller. Now, I don't really need to have words in my mouth to tell a story. I can tell a story through visuals. If I have a good understanding of how visual can talk to a people, how visual can enhance a mood, a certain mood of a certain narration, I will be able to tell my story very effectively. I will be able to present and or dish out my story more in a more entertaining way to the audience, that the audience will remember it. So if you are asking who is a storyteller, everyone is a storyteller. People who are right now focusing on 3D animation, people who are focusing on 2D animation, people who are focusing on just art and color and forms, or just understanding the market and understanding the client and their requirement. Everything is, all of them can become a storyteller. What we do is we bring all of them together in one space. So when we get a project, we make a team. It's not like it's never one single person's project. It's a team who is always answerable. There is, of course, a team leader. So we make the team. In that team, we have also we have the brain, we have the hands, and we have the environment. Environment is a very important factor in when you want to churn out good creative output from the people who are living there. We are spending so many hours inside the office. Having a good environment always helps, and that is something. which we have very consciously nurtured even in our office area. There have been times when our office space has been very really small. Now, of course, we have moved into a bigger space, a much more swanky space with more facilities. But once again, when there are people who come together, who huddle together, at times you actually cram for a little bit of more coziness. You don't need so much of open space where people go so far from each other. Of course, not counting the current situation where we need to be far from each other. But I am. This is purely in terms of spirit, the kind of spirit that we nurture in our office.
So, students, one of the primary requirements from a broadcast to world is they are looking for excellent concept artists. You can also call them a storyboard artist, someone who can create unique concepts. And as Anish said, you don't, being a concept artist is no rocket science. If you have that creative kida in you, you can be a good concept artist. So that's the first requirement the studio has. That is, they're looking for good concept artists, good storyboard artists, right? And Anish, are you all working from home?
Right now, most of us are working from home. A few of us do visit the office space now and then.
Okay.
Like usually, not more than two or three people these days.
Okay, so it's more or less work from home.
It's more or less work from home. Also,
Great.
first criteria is be excited. Be excited to tell a story to your audience. I mean, if you're not excited to tell a story every day, if you're not excited to go and speak out to a person you don't know about, then this might not be the right place for you. You might have to look for a different kind of a setup. A studio demands that you are always in the mood of telling a story. So, a storyboard artist, like you mentioned, a storyboard artist, it is a combination of skill with hands. It is also a combination of visualization. A storyboard artist has to visualize where to place the camera, what kind of framing to put, what kind of object to put in the whole overall composition, what is the mood, what is the color palette. An art director, a storyteller, a creative visualizer, they all need to be enabled with all such weapons. These are actually our weapons, our tools. And what comes after that is the stage of execution. You should be actually as good in terms of execution as you are good in terms of thinking, because both are required. So we are always in the lookout for talents like this, talents who can think, who can tell stories, who can do brilliant illustrations and art, who has flair with colors, people who love experimenting with models, different or different ways of creating animation. Because animation is also not one single technology in itself. There are multiple facets of animation, multiple technology you can explore in order to do it. So is that Kira, like Mala so rightly uh, put across?
Yes.
It's a Kira that needs to be there, and we are looking for guys with that Kira, and we are constantly on the lookout for them.
And just for the students who have not visited their studio, have been to their studio, trust me, there are bean bags all around. I've seen artists sipping their coffee with their headphones on and working. It is absolutely crazy. So students, and since it's work from home, so you're from Bombay, Calcutta, uh, Bangalore, Chennai, it does not matter, it's work from home. So if you have that creative kira, and if you really want to visualize, if you want to play, if you want to have that amazing ambience, you want to work with the best of artists, so I would request all of you to please submit your portfolio along with your resume to the center placement head ASAP, which we will then share with the studio. Okay. We have one question, Anish and Arti, from Gurleen Kaur. Okay. Now, I guess you are also looking for some graphic designers who would know Photoshop. So if you can please tell us about the skill set, and if there is any special skill set you're looking for a graphic designer.
Okay, so I will just Aarti, I will just give a small introduction of the kind of work that's happening, based because that will also give a clarity to the student, to the
Yes, yeah, that's better.
where
Yes,
exactly do they
that
belong.
would be fine.
So there are two types of client that we cater to. One is B2B and B2C. Now, for those who are not familiar with this term of B2B and B2C, I'll explain it simply with this diagram. Now, you must have seen advertisement and commercials on TV that are catering to you. Someone is selling a mobile phone, someone is selling you probably a recipe, someone is selling you an app, but someone is selling a normal everyday person a something of their need. Everyday person is the guy who is sitting on the sofa. And this fellow, the first fellow, he's trying to sell his product to the everyday consumer. That is B2C, business to consumer. But now let's say the first fellow on the right, standing next to the sofa, is selling me a mobile phone. Now, chances are he is not making the mobile phone entirely on his own. A lot of parts are coming from different parts, from different factory. The body is coming from somewhere. There is probably some metal used inside, which is coming from somewhere. Now, all of those people, they are not going to make a film for you, the common audience, the audience sitting in front of the TV. They are not going to say we make awesome copper wire. What's the use? You are not going to buy copper wire. They are going to take their film or their promotion to this fellow. That is B2B, that is business to business. I am selling something, I am selling part of my business product to you, to another business establishment. So this is B2B and B2C. B2Cs are very fancy, they have those glamour, shashu, and all that stuff because it's like it's coming on the TV, it's reaching to multiple types of audience. B2B that way can be very point to point. It's like to the point, giving information, making it very easy to understand rather than making it entertaining. The focus is more on comprehensibility of the entire concept. So these are the two kind of works we deal with. But saying that both of them need the masala, the curry, to enamor and entice the audience, to make them stick around and see the entire video. So there are certain rules of creativity, rules of video making, rules of animation that as a studio we have developed and we practice it. People who will join us will be part of that whole rule, the whole system, the whole secret knowledge, so to say. But these are mainly what we work in. So if you are interested in any of it, both this field, they require storytellers, they require storyboard artists, they require art directors, and they require animators. Uh, Aarti, if you want to add something to it.
Yeah, so we mainly have these three positions with us: concept artist, animators, and graphic designers. For graphic designer, we look someone who can do illustrations with the designing, I guess, right? Yes, Anish?
Yeah.
Okay. And the technical skill set, if you can just explain them, what exactly the tools and the skill set we require.
Okay. So
So, Anish, as of now, I will just repeat this for our students. The vacant positions are a concept artist, Right. storyboard artist. I think ever since I have been interacting with you, this position has been evergreen. Concept artist, someone who can tell stories. So, this is one position, students. Second is a designer, a graphic designer who knows Photoshop. And yes, if you know sketching, that is definitely an added advantage, and 2D animators, right, who knows After Effects. So this is the mota description of the positions. Anish, I would request you if you can just in very uh, you can explain what actually you're expecting in their portfolio.
okay.
What, for example, if I want to apply as a concept artist, what should I show you so that I get selected? So, in brief.
I'll give a quick profile of this thing, what those kind of people actually are for us, what they mean to us. An animator is the guy who is very proficient with the software. He knows the basics of animation. It's not just the understanding of software, it's also the understanding of the basics of animation. Things like stretch and squish, things like understand the gravity and the physics of an object, which varies from object to object, all of those things. That's animator. Then comes the graphics. Graphics are usually the artist, the group of artists. Within the graphic artist, we have storyboard artists as well. They are the same thing. A storyboard artist, someone who can draw and sketch, can also color. What he needs is very specific training to figure out how to create those assets. Now, it's not just painting freehand and putting colors into it, because the animator in the next stage needs to put motion to it. there is a certain rule that we follow in terms of creating those hands and limbs. I'm sure the students are aware of that. So based on what software using, what kind of animation and style we are using, the graphic illustrator need to understand how to create those assets and how to give forward it to the animator. And then on the top of the line, there's the concept artist as well. That's where from where the story starts flowing. The concept artist basically is the face to the client who understands the need of the client, comes up with a concept. The concept artist can be a combination of two-person, a script writer, plus a guy who knows, he can be from the graphics team, he can be from the animator team as well, who is sitting with the script writer and breaking down the entire film, in breaking it down into visuals, breaking it down into understandable visuals, and then once again going back and forth to the client, getting a okay on the script, getting an okay on the screenplay, on the art style, and then the production process starts. So a concept artist can be from any department, but the portfolio would require, if you are looking for a job as a concept artist, give us some idea about what kind of storytelling you can do. You're probably someone who is doing a lot of visual storytelling. You are an artist. You tell your stories through illustrations, not through words. That's absolutely fine. What we will be looking in that case is the depth of your story. What kind of target audience were you targeting when you were thinking about that story? Who did you want to cater it to? And how effectively did you do it? If you're looking for a role in graphic designing and illustration, at that point we will really scrutinize your skills, your hand skills, your illustration, your understanding of colors, and so on and so forth. And of course, once again, needless to say, animator, if you're going for that role, we will be testing out your skills in terms of understanding, not understanding of the software, as well as understanding of physics, regular physics and its dynamics. Saying that, we are also a very open organization, as in a lot of students will be surprised, and I also hope very happy to know that a lot of us, we started in with some discipline and then we moved on to some other discipline. So we have got people who joined as graphic illustrators. They were awesomely talented artists, but then they saw something in animation, and then they moved on. They just had with the organization provided them with that facility, with that intent, and the training structure to make that shift. So those guys are not trained outside. They have not been trained in the institute. A lot of us, we got trained on the job, and a lot of us are today who are doing animation, who started from graphics. A lot of us have moved on to concept from animation. They're doing parallel, both of them together. And the beauty of this whole structure is, actually, that was the beauty all of us were thriving to achieve. That was the reason we moved from a factory module to a studio module. The beauty is you can try your hands on a lot of things. That's one beauty about broadcast to world, is it gives you that playground to play around. It gives you that freedom to go into interdisciplinary areas and try out those waters. See if you have a new interest growing. So that's the beauty of it. Uh,
That's really wonderful. So, students, if you join Broadcast to World as a concept artist, but you have an inclination towards Photoshop or probably 2D animation, say within 1 year or probably 6 months, you can get shifted to the other department also. So that's the beauty of Broadcast to World. Okay. One more question, Anish, which I would like to ask you, or probably Aarti, you would also like to answer that question. If you can tell us more about the work culture, the growth of a fresher. Now, if I join your organization as a fresher, so what would be my growth path be in broadcast world? Yes.
Aarti, will you take this? I think as an HR, you are.
यस सो माला हमारे यहाँ जैसे कोई फ्रेशर आता है सो समटाइम्स वी हायर देम एज अ ट्रेनी and sometimes we hire them as an executive. It completely depends how good a person is, how good a skill set and how good attitude a person holds. So उसके ऊपर डिपेंड करता है कि आप कैसे किसको लेके जाने वाले हो. उसके बाद we have a certain hierarchy we have, and as per that we move forward. We have 6 months probation, but
Okay.
yes, again it depends कि जो हमें ज्वाइन कर रहा है उसका स्किल सेट कैसा है, whether he is going to join us as a trainee or as an executive. yeah, it depends on
Okay,
that.
so students, again, as we mentioned this in all our sessions, there is no as such number, there is no limit of hiring fresh talents. But yes, if you have that passion, if you have the right portfolio, so I would again request students who would be interested to apply for Broadcast to World, please get your portfolio and resume just checked by your faculty or mentor or your center placement head, so that the right portfolio reaches the studio. And yes, when it comes to growth, again, this organization from a two member team, it is now, they have a awesome office in Gurgaon, been there many times. So they've actually grown like anything. So it has a very flat structure, there is transparency at all levels. So it depends on you. If you are, it's just not being hardworking, but then if you have that knack to grow, if you perform, I guess sky would be the limit for Broadcast to World. We have placed a lot of freshers from Aptech. They joined as trainees and now they are a part of the management team. So that's the kind of growth this organization would give you. So I think we should not wait further. Just complete your course, just complete your portfolio, do that fine tuning in your portfolio, and yes, they both are ready to hire you. Okay. We have another question, Anish, and I would take that question with you. Am I audible, Anish? I think we have
Yeah, I
lost.
guess he's having some issue.
Yeah, this window is okay. So I'll take that question with you, Aarti.
Yes.
As freshers, they'll have good portfolios, and how important is communication when a student appears
So,
for the interview, a
so
fresher.
Mala, it depends. I mean, for which role you're applying to, right? For concept artists, since the clients are from US and most of the clients are from abroad. Yes, a concept artist, communication skills should be excellent. But yes, for an animator, if someone is having a average of good communication, that is fine. So it depends. I mean, for role to role, I mean, yes.
Okay, so someone probably who would be applying for a concept artist, yes, since the client deals with all US, the recruiter deals with all US clients, so communication is important. But then, having said that, again, for freshers, communication is not mandatory, but it will not harm you if you know English. Okay, so yes, Anish, you are back.
Yeah. No, it's what Aarti said. If you want to be the face to the client, then English is it comes handy. But that shouldn't stop you from becoming a concept artist, though, because it's what inside which matters. And you are here with your own people, with your peers and people who speak your language. So in the working station, it's no big deal at all. But yes, for the client, that kind of makes a difference.
Okay, yes. Uh, One more question we have. I'll just check out the name of the student. Anirudh. Anirudh Singh has a question. Do you also need, as of now, do you also need modelers for your organization, or is it just 2D animation?
3D modelers. Uh,
Yeah.
Personally, inside B2W, we do 2D animation, but like I said, we give solution and stories to our clients. So at times, we also venture into 3D. So during those times, we basically join hands with some 3D studio. So direct recruitment inside broadcast tool for 3D right now, not so much. We are more into 2D.
Okay. So, Anirudh, I hope that answers your question. They are majorly into 2D. However, if you are a good 3D modeler, you can share your resume and portfolio with your respective placement head. Yesterday, we had a industry session with our esteemed recruiter. So, there are a lot of vacancies for 3D modelers. So, you can share your portfolio and resume to your
When there's
placement
a
head,
good
and we'll take it
portfolio,
forward.
we individually reach out to those people, like a good 3D artist, a good 3D animator. It always doesn't have to be like combining ourselves with another studio. We also associate ourselves with individuals and freelancers. So we are always on the lookout for portfolio, even 3D, even though we are not actively into it, but we keep a track of all the good people who are doing 3D stuff.
Amazing. I guess that's the beauty of this industry. When whoever studio I talk to, if there's a good resume, if there's a good portfolio, they always keep that with them, and the need, whenever the need arises, the student gets a call. So that's I guess the beauty of this creative industry. Okay, I will check. Okay. There is one more question from Piyush Talwani. Okay. Now, Anish, I would take this question with you. Do you need project coordinators at the moment? Because I guess there are a lot of requirement for project managers also. I guess 2-3 months back. So, do you, as of now, need project coordinators also?
As of now, Aarti would be better to reply to that, because the need keeps coming back in frequencies. I am not sure we need it right now, but a month down the line, few months down the line, it keeps
Yeah.
happening. It's also a job where people keep changing and shifting their place.
Yes. So at the moment, we don't need any project coordinator for. I mean, maybe later, a month or two. I'm not
Okay,
sure. But yes, for
great.
now it's not.
Okay, so Piyush, what you can do is you can again share your resume, and of course, we would not need a portfolio for a project coordinator. So whenever there's a requirement in say 7 days or 15 days, not only with Broadcast to World but any other studio, will definitely take it forward. There is one more question from anonymous attendee. The name is not written. Ma'am, how to send the resume for the same? Again, if you're listening to me, you can just share your resume and portfolio to your center placement head, who would uh, okay, the name is okay, is other question. Okay, so you can share your resume and portfolio to your respective center placement head, and they will forward it to your ICAP, regional ICAP head, right? And it reaches the studio, don't worry. Okay. Anish, we have two questions from Bharat. I would request you to, that's very important, to mention the website of Broadcast to World with the, spellings, because, students would like to go through the website. And second, in the studio, Bharat has asked, in the studio, what is the most used language? Is it English or Hindi?
It's a combination of Hindi and English. Hindi, I would say, is
So
more
Bharat,
prevalent.
don't worry, Hindi is used, but then again, please don't be afraid of learning English. We all learn German, we all learn French, so the same way English is just another language. If you want to grow that creative ladder quickly, English would definitely help you. Okay, so Anish, I would request you to please mention the website of Broadcast to World. Students, please note it down so that you can browse the website and check the work.
It's very easy actually. www.b2w.tv.
Third it in the chat only.
Okay, so it is www.b, okay, numeric 2 w.tv. So students, you can just go through the website after the session and get a feel about the kind of work they do. And trust me, this is an awesome organization with young talent, where they, I keep on checking their Facebook pages. They celebrate all festivals under the sky. It's a very colorful, vibrant organization where you just not work, but then you party also. So that's the concept of Broadcast to World. Okay, Anish would be showing a video. I think you'll get an idea of what the work culture is. Yeah, so that's the office of Broadcast to World. I guess that's you, Aarti, standing, right?
Photographs. There's no video actually,
Okay.
but I've given you the link. Actually, that's the best link I've given you. Go to that. There are plenty of videos over there. Just click the portfolio section. We keep updating those videos. One video will not do justice. If you want to see if your kind of,
This is how the office looks like. This is just one section. So
which
I
is
guess some cricket matches going on. Yeah. So that's the beauty of this industry, that you have your headphones on and आप अपना काम भी कर रहे हो, and match is also going on parallelly. So that's one section of broadcast world. But yes, now it is work from home. But I'm keeping my fingers crossed that this COVID thing subsides and you all go to the studio, enjoy the vibrant atmosphere there and work. So that's a part of the
So we
studio. So
celebrate
that's the
everything.
office.
We celebrate everything. If you notice, there's this guy. He's sitting here with a balloon in front of him. So, so we celebrate cricket. We celebrate football. Very occasionally, the projector comes into action, and the office is basically a cauldron of a lot of positive cacophony, I would say. So this, I had few more photos of, yeah, basically the people, young guys, they can chill around. They always don't have to be seen in front of their computer. They don't always have to be seen like with their thinking cap on, because thought can come at any point of time. It's important that you have fun, you can relax. Okay, I'm not getting the access so clearly into this. I don't know why. Why isn't it showing like a slide? Yeah. So basically, it's warm. The feeling is quite warm here. So we celebrate birthday. Of course, we haven't shown you the face of the guy post the cake cutting. We only thought it would be decent to keep it the
No,
the
I guess when the students join, they'll see that face post cake cutting. So that's again, I guess, one of the festivals being celebrated.
yeah, that's one of the festival being celebrated. And we work. It's a big space. It has got lots of sports and activity going around in different floors. No, there are massage. There are some magic shows, singing competition, dancing competition. Those things are full on. So these are also kind of things like it naturally attracted us to that space. So that's our office. I will request all the students to go to the website, see those movies, see those videos that we are making. It's not one style, so I didn't show any video over here in this presentation. Also because the connection doesn't seem to be right. The last time I tried it, there was a lag between visual
Right.
and audio, and the experience was not so good. So just go over there directly, take the experience firsthand, and see where you fit in.
Perfect. So I guess students, you all, seen the office ambience. It's quite warm. It's quite friendly. Great. I can see a lot of students raising their hands. So as of now, the requirement which Broadcast to World has is concept artist, storyboard artist, graphic designer, where you need to know Photoshop, and if you have a good sketching sense, that would always be an icing on the cake. And they are also looking for 2D animators. Okay, having said that, if you are a good project coordinator, or if you are a good 3D modeler, and if you are interested to apply for Broadcast to World or any studio, you can please share your resume and portfolio with your respective center head. And please go through the website www.b2w.tv. You'll get a clarity of the kind of the awesome work they do. Okay, Anish, before we wind up the session, I have one last question from you. We have a lot of students, a lot of intenders who are attending this session, okay, who are yet to take admission in aptech centers. Any message or any piece of advice you would like to give them, and probably our young talents, which would help them? Because uh, abhi bhi, I get scolded by my parents when I play games, but then I think gaming is one of the most fabulous industries, so that's there. So most of the students would relate to this. So any piece of advice, any tip you would like to give our budding artist?
Uh, Tip of advice are, I don't know what helps you individually to stay creative, but I'm sure all of you have some tick. So take some time out of your life, go into introspection. I mean, don't go into क्या बोलते हैं, deep trance and meditation. It just takes few minutes of silence. Think about it. What gives you the tick? What prompts you to get into a creative flow of mind and keep that thing alive in you? today we are living in kind of a difficult world. There's this new word that has been coined, neo reality, neo normal. I don't know what that means, but it definitely means that we need to adapt to it. Creative people, they do need a lot of to and fro exchange of ideas. So build a community. If you can't build that community physically being next to each other, build that community online. See what people are doing all across the world, the kind of work, the kind of thought. Every artwork that you see also comes with the kind of thought process. So don't just watch the artwork and move to the next one. Actually sit between, make a group, sit between yourself, decode that art. Like, what is the artist trying to show? What are the points in this entire canvas? Where are those points where he has achieved that with a master stroke? What is the story? What is the mood that must have gone behind जो दिखता नहीं है, पर्दे के पीछे जो thought है? What are those? Get into those kind of discussions, and actually that's the best way of learning and sharing. The best teacher is someone who can share. The best student is someone who can share. Both of them needs to know how to share. So yeah, that's it. I mean, don't forget to observe the world. I know we have been almost forced to look into the screen way more than we were doing few months back. It has also kind of put a blind on top of our eyes for the rest of the world. But as an artist, if you want those creative juice to continuously keep flowing, you will have to lift up that veil, the veil of online internet, and actually look at the reality as well. That's when you will be able to give something which is fresh, which is very you, which is new, enthralling, and enticing for the rest of the world. Otherwise, you will probably end up doing something which has already been done because you are watching it on the internet. You are processing it the way the internet is giving it out to you. Your personal filter probably isn't working so good in those situations. So always go back into observing the world around us, the real world around us. It lacks the kind of glamour that exists on the screen, but it makes up way more than that in terms of what it can give you, enrich you with. So that's what I always say to every new guys in the creative field.
Great. That was one awesome piece of advice. And students, just don't work because you've been asked to work. Just don't work on your portfolio because your placement head has told you that there's a vacancy and you need to apply and forcefully submit your portfolio. Uh, it's very important that your mind is stress free and there's no clutter inside. So just relax. You guys are from one of the best institutes, so just stay relaxed. And enjoy your art. So I think live art, breathe art, dream art, sleep art, because it's very important to stay art nirbhar in this new normal. Okay, so to wind up again, a quick recap of the session. The website I've already told, it's b2w numeric 2.tv. The vacant positions are concept artist, 2D animators, and graphic designers. It is work from home, so students from any part of the country can apply. If your portfolio is good, if your work is good, and if you have that passion inside you to perform, trust me, that's the place where you can actually live that creative dream of yours, right? So thank you so much, Anish and Aarti, for taking us through the beautiful journey of your studio, telling us about the organization culture, and yes, showing us those beautiful photographs. It has actually made our day. And students, we have an interesting lineup of industry interactions in the coming days. Okay, I will not spill the entire magic now, but tomorrow we have another industry session with one of our esteemed recruiters. It starts the same time, 3:30 p.m. So finish your lunch quickly and be in front of your systems, mobiles, sharp at 3:30, so that you have another interesting session. And for the registration link, please get in touch with your center. Okay, so thank you so much, the entire team of Broadcast to World. Thank you, MESC, for giving us such a lovely platform. Thank you, students, and thank you, all the staff members. who attended the session. Thanks a lot. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Mala, and thanks Aptech for the platform given to us to showcase ourselves.
Anytime. Now you have to recruit our students. That's it.
Sure.
Great. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye bye, everyone.